Business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
To musical dance. They do.
Straight.
The line of response to a big part of my career. Hot in the club. Bring back the big tune one more time.
Immaculate Girls came up with the name Renaissance.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's something that one that's so hard to spell.
Yeah, tell you, you go.
Man, I said, jail you there in a youth, I want to you. You ma what? Singer? You know how long we want a radio?
Vegi, why do you think it was a good idea for going to Gino Jennings' church?
Remember, say beat me on that, you know.
No, but it's a funny clip.
Me know, man, but
we are talking about reality.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central. As of Tuesday, April 15, Fan Central will be moving to 9 p.m.
Greetings and salutation and welcome to a belated start to Fan Central, but get used to the 9 o'clock start because we'll be going back to that pretty soon. Well, this evening we start with a gentleman, Howard Ward, who had a 5K in Western Jamaica a couple of weeks ago, and he'll tell us about it. What was it for, and did he meet his targets? He joins us right now. Mr. Howard Ward, how are you, sir?
Good. I'm doing good, sir Higgins. I'm doing very good.
All right. So I understand that you had a 5K out there in Western Jamaica on, was it April 5th?
Yeah, April 5th.
All right. Tell us, the floor is yours. Tell us more about it.
All right. The race really was set up to help the Howard Ward Benefit Foundation raise funds, for less fortunate kids that we, this is our second year. And we basically raise funds to help high school and university students with their tuition, by offering them scholarship to help them to see them through.
Right. What was it that made you decide to take up that particular venture as opposed to any other project that you could take on?
Well, the foundation, which was this our second year, last year, the first year, we raised over $8 million. And we find that the activity that we create around the run was something that everyone enjoyed. It was a family event, and so people came out and support. And so this year we made it look better. We got a lot of support. We have over 6,000 persons attending the event, and it was a success.
Right.
And hence we'll be able to offer over $10 to $12 million. We don't have the final figures as yet for scholarship program, which we'll offer that in July of this year.
How do you decide who benefits? Because I'm sure, as my old mother would have said, there are more dogs than bones. How do you decide who gets what? When and where?
The Howard Ward Benefit Foundation, have several levels in there. We have the program to selecting committee for the scholarship, which is chaired by Dr. Obiki from the University of West Indies, along with other board members and experts. So basically, we ask them to submit application with their grades, tell us about them, the usual stuff, and then the committee will go through to choose the vetting process, which is a very rigorous vetting process to make sure we really reach the needy. Because sometimes it's not always about the best grades, but we take the grades and the persons who really need that support.
All right, and
so it's a combination.
The students that benefited, were they just from Western Jamaica or it was an island-wide effort?
Well, basically it was from Western Jamaica, but it reaches all the way to Kingston. We have some students going to UTech, some going to U in Kingston, some Sam Sharp, Teachers College, and then we have the traditional high school, Cornwall, Motel Vernon students like that is benefit from this scholarship.
How many students would you say benefited overall?
All right, last year we had 38 students that benefit from around 8.5 million.
Right.
And even about that, part of the interview, we do an in-person interview, to make sure we're assessing them right and to make sure we understand their needs and see how best we can help them.
All right, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back, Mr. Ward. Stay with us.
Shop with us and save with even free island-wide delivery. Conditions apply. Visit us at Shop 8 Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in electrical business.
We are back for season 2 of Corner Office. We are highlighting small businesses, hard-working Jamaicans who are doing their own thing in their own spaces. People who are in their role, bossing up their role.
Let's go!
Let's get it! It's not if you own the company or not, it's how you own the role. Ice cream is coming. Guess what? It is your Corner Office. Season 2, bigger and better. And guess what? You don't think it's not yet? Check it out. We're there in the place. Undercover. Easy yourself.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm closer, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music is to play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling, dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights on.
Jamaica is on a transformative path, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. MEGJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the Season 2 of the MEGJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
All right, welcome back. We're speaking to Howard Ward, the conceptualizer of the Howard Ward Foundation that just had its second year of putting on a 5K out there in Western Jamaica to help needy students. Mr. Ward, you said that 38 students benefited from this exercise. How much or what exactly did this scholarship cover? What exactly did it pay for?
The scholarship assists to pay with tuition, books, and so on. And it's not only when we do a scholarship, it's not the traditional scholarship. So, you know, the kid was start this year. We have a student now that's going into the third year, and we continue to support. The grades are good, and we continue to support them all the way through, because it's good to say you give a lot of scholarship, but the idea is the quality scholarships that we give. We want to see our student go all the way through high school, see them through graduation. So it's about selecting who is needy and really assist them going all the way through. 'Cause a lot of time, you know, students will start first year and they can manage the second year. We want to see them go through.
About what would you say is the value, monetary value for each one of the scholarships? If you had to narrow it down to a dollar figure.
No, it's hard to do it because it's not really an average. It's based on the need of each student. But in the end, it was $8.5 million. So it's kind of hard to say. It started right around 400,000. Some gets 400,000, and then it comes back down to whatever is needed at the high school. So on the average, between 400,000 and 500,000 at the start, and then the secondary schools or high school will get a lot less because basically you're helping with just more basic needs.
All right, that's a great, a very noble gesture. Is it a case of you handing the money to the students in hand, or you pay the money directly to what they say that they need the money for?
No, the funds are paid directly to the bursar of each institution.
Yeah.
So that ensure that there's transparency all the way for the student, and you know they'll check back with us, make sure the vouchers are paid and everything. We give them a certificate that is good, and then it goes directly to the bursar of each institution.
All right, wonderful. Now for the staging in April, because you said this is the second year, will you be assisting more students than you did last year, or round about that 38 figure will be the norm?
Yeah, well, we'll be going a lot more. We'll be going bigger because the run was bigger, and we also will be partnering with the Heart Trust, with equipment, because our major company, which is parent companies, Wards Power Tool, are into heavy equipment, and so we want to assist through Heart, partner with Heart, to see otherwise how we can assess. So apart from students going to, we want to help people with technical skills, because there's a high demand. Construction is booming in Jamaica, and we have just about every equipment. And so with that, partnering with Heart will also assist with the student. That will be outside of the scholarship.
All right, one last one for you, Mr. Ward. How big do you intend to take this? Are you planning on helping students who are not just based in Jamaica, or getting help from people who are outside of Jamaica? Do you plan to make this an international gesture one day?
Well, we'd like to make it international, but in order for us to reach out to help people overseas, we need to be getting funds from overseas to help with the program. So we're hoping to launch it in a more global aspect, because so far the run has been very successful and the results is really great.
Okay, so
we're looking forward to take it. I would like to say, now, with our just being our second year, and we now are able to probably reach right around $20 million in scholarship at the end of this year. I think that is something to really feel proud about as a organization that just started in 2 years.
All right, Sir Howard Ward, it certainly is a very nice gesture. Most people don't try to put on events like that in order to help needy students. We applaud it, sir. Continue to do what you're doing, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
And thank you for having me, and looking forward. I keep it posted when the scholarship is announced, so at least we'll be able to see what we do and how we do it. And as we try to reach out and grow this thing in a global aspect, we thank you very much for helping sharing this knowledge.
All right, sir. Thank you very much as well. Now, that's Howard Ward, the man behind the Howard Ward Foundation. You heard it. Great gesture, great initiative to help out with students and their tuition and so on to get back to not only high school but tertiary as well. Grand gesture. We'll take a break. More to come on Fan Central.
Child deserves a home filled with love. When hope meets heart, a new journey begins.
Welcome home, David.
Welcome, David.
it your own.
Family is built on moments shared.
Go David, yes!
Every smile and every shared moment connects us with a brighter future. Here, you're not just welcomed, you're family. Foster hope, foster love, foster a child today. Contact the CPFSA for more information.
Come rise with Tamighty. We'll drop a little Jesus in your ship with Carey Sales in Wednesday service. Then we'll hop into some good vibes for Easter with a movie night. We'll pause to honor the great Monair Sonny T. Zaka. And we'll wrap things up with Wags brought to you by True Pet. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this. People, are you ready? Fit Fire has joined the Fet. If you missed it on the ground, catch it on the TV. Shani Fitness brings her high-energy, dance-filled workout series, Fit Fire, to a TV near you. Join her and her team as they continue to get you fit for the Fet this season. Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. on CVM TV. Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series, getting you ready for the road. Powered by CVM TV.
Fit for Fets, brought to you by Smirnoff. We do Carnival. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Fan Central. Now, for the last few weeks, you may be aware that we have a section where we have a review of the Jamaica Premier League. This week is no exception. Big up to our sponsors in Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical. This week, we have Ronaldo Adams with the JPL review.
JPL review, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
The match ended 3-0, but the action was not as exciting as the scoreline would suggest. Nonetheless, it's another 3 points for Montego Bay United and 2 more goals for Owen Gordon.
They move quickly. Oh, what a takedown, and Fletcher was he brought down inside the box.
Phillips quick on the scene. Wayne Gordon still protesting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, it's a red card.
It is a red card. The contact started outside the box.
Did it? It did. It did. Clearly, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Gordon scores. Emphatic. That's his 7th of the campaign. And Montego Bay United with an early lead here.
Montego Bay United stayed patient, then pounced. Demario Phillips slipped a clever ball to Peter Lee Vassell, who coolly finished to announce his return to the JPL with Mabay's second.
Phillips gets a return from Gordon. That's lovely stuff. Phillips laying it on a platter. Peter Lee Vassell returns with a goal.
And very good creative players. Demario Phillips on a platter.
Racing were reeling, and the captain Owen Gordon delivered the knockout punch.
Into the path of Gordon. Gordon!
But the performance wasn't, but they've really turned it on the past few minutes. Good first touch to create the space.
It's a very good feeling, right now it's a road to success for the team. We have a cause and we are sticking to the cause. Everybody buying into what the club and the team is pushing for, and it's a very good feeling to know that we get the 3 points that we come here for, and going forward, a road to the playoff.
Again, 3 more points. Arnett Gardens aren't that close now. Is this a sigh of relief for you guys?
No sign of relief because, it's 3 games leaving the season. Anything can happen. Our goal is to finish strong, and that's the ultimate goal. We don't care if we are 5 points ahead today. The ultimate goal is to stay where we are and push forward.
Coach Davis, 3 goals, 3 points. How are you feeling tonight?
It's good to get the 3 points, and as I said before, this racing team, they never stop running. Even if they have 9 man, 10 man, they don't change their system. That's what I love about them. They just keep coming. So most people say you have 11 man and they are 10. But most of the time when you have a 10 against 11, the 10 players become maybe 12. And I love the way they play. But we stood in the game. We told ourselves we need to take a chance to them because we know this team going to keep coming at us.
Coach, despite having 10 men on the field for majority of the match, you dominated most of the match regardless, and then wasted opportunities, then the 2 late goals. How would you assess tonight's performance?
For the first 70 minutes, we just have to give the boys thanks. You know, the red card spell on the team. I know it's a red card, but it's not a penalty. I think it's outside the box. But it's football. Referee decision now going to be right as at all the time. We'll just have to go again.
With the regular season winding down, Montego Bay United are building serious momentum, and the second place is looking more locked in by the week. Their latest win pushes them to 72 points, now 5 clear of Arnett Gardens in third. Meanwhile, Racing United's playoff hopes are slipping. Still stuck on 48 points, they're 4 behind the 6th place Waterhouse. Ronaldo Adams, CVM Sports. And in the early contest, league leaders Mount Pleasant got by struggling Chapelton Maroons 2-0 at Anthony Spaulding Sports Complex. Trinidadian Elixus Angelo opened the scoring for Mount Pleasant in minute 61, and Raheem Edwards scored in minute 74 to secure all 3 points. The win moves Mount Pleasant to 81 points, while Chapelton are 10th on 33. On Sunday, Portmore United turned up the heat on 10-men Arnett Gardens to grab a hard-fought 2-1 victory at Ferdinita Complex. Cardell Benbow broke the deadlock in the 28th minute, and Siobhan Watson delivered the knockout blow in the 61st. Arnett's Warner Brown, the league's sharpest shooter, kept things spicy with a penalty in the 60th, tipped the scales in Portmore's favour, closing the gap between them and third-placed Arnett to 3 points. Meanwhile, defending champions Cavalier were left frustrated after being held to a 2-2 draw by Harbourview. Dejon Green and Andre Fagan had the home side flying with a 2-0 lead, but Cavaliers' Jalmara Calvin bagged 2 late goals for the visitors. Malines United, who are struggling for form, got a much-needed 2-0 win over Dunbeholden. Both teams came into this game having lost 4 of their last 5. And Tivoli Gardens capitalised on their golden chance, edging bottom-dwelling Vere United 2-1 at Wembley Centre of Excellence. Vere's Tariq McGee had them dreaming with an early goal in the 7th minute, but Tivoli's Kimarley Smith and Barrington Price turned the tide to complete the job. Ronaldo Adams for Fan Central.
JPL Review, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
All right, thank you much there, Ronaldo. And now we switch our focus to motor racing. And over the last few weeks, few months, we've been tracking the progress of one of Jamaica's brightest motor racing stars. We're talking Senna Somerville, continuing in the Somerville tradition. Well, he's in here with us this evening. He's also accompanied by Christopher Issa, who will tell us, well, they will tell us a little bit about what the association is and all that will be happening. We understand that Senna has been on, well, has started your European voyage, so to speak. Tell us about it. First of all, good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you, good evening. Yeah. Well, thank you for having us. And yes, we caught up last year when we were driving the Porsche in Germany, and new challenges came about, and we now entered into the European series with a new race car, a Cupra. It's called a Cupra, a European brand. It's not actually in Jamaica. Super fast car, and we've taken up a new challenge to enter into the European Touring Car Championship, which is quite amazing. And Uncle Chris joined along the journey. He supported us all of last year. He came to one of the pre-season tests, and there's always a need for a second driver. And yeah, Uncle Chris has joined the journey. It's been amazing. We got off to, I think, a mind-blowing start, winning our first race in Italy about a month ago, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season, you know.
Where is race 2?
It's in June 8th.
June 8th.
Yeah.
Sir Issa, Mr. Christopher Issa, first of all, tell us about your own background in driving, because I know Senna didn't just pluck you out of the air. You must have, you know, had the kind of accomplishment that he would have known about and that would have been impressed by. But give us your racing resume.
Well, I retired about 33 years ago, but I was a former rally winner of the International Stages Rally, 2-time winner and a national circuit racing champion. And I really handed over to Senna's father, David, and sort of worked with him through his years as with Doug Gore. So when the idea of their sons going to compete in the German GT4 championship, I was all for that to happen, because in Jamaica, we have really limited circuits, and Dover being the most known circuit, but by international standards, it's a very small circuit and doesn't offer the kind of speeds that really real racetracks offer around the world. So to have our young drivers exposed to this type of racing, I mean, the Mugello track that Senna drove on in the end of March was a Formula One track. So it's all about continuing, to fly the flag of Jamaica and in many different ways, and in motor racing as well.
Having been out of motor racing for 33 years, weren't you a little, what's the word, apprehensive about coming back to drive?
Yes, I was. As Senna mentioned, I did do a test with them on the GT4, so I realized that I wasn't, too far off the pace. And it's understandable that the older drivers, we're called gentleman drivers or masters drivers, so we are expected to be a number of seconds slower depending on the track. But what has been fascinating for me is how cars have evolved and what the techniques that you need to really drive well today are. It's a lot more, let us say, I would say complicated than the days of when, 30 odd years ago, when the cars, it was a lot more on the brake or on the gas, and now you have to really know how to work with the brake and release the brake to varying degrees in the corners, and so it's a lot more challenging.
Senna, let me, for those like myself who don't understand the dynamics of how two drivers operate, is it alternate, so you drive?
Well, so
explain
it just depends on the weekend. So, for example, having two drivers in the race series, we can do all the test sessions back to back, different drivers. We can even choose to one driver do the whole race, and we take a little 5-second penalty at the pit stop. But the whole theory is two drivers throughout the weekend, whether it be testing or during the race weekend, have to be at least testing. Testing the car.
How long is the race and how many laps?
So the race is an hour long. So it's quite a long race, and it drains you. And yeah,
it's not a case of both drivers in the vehicle at the same time?
No, so it's not like rallying. Rallying is more you have a driver and a co-pilot. But this race, you actually can choose to, when you do the pit stop, if you do switch drivers at the half stint, or if you continue doing. But the drivers have to be at least competing in 3 practices, both drivers. Kind of like Formula One, where you have reserve drivers, you have main drivers, but yeah.
What are we seeing on screen now? Which one is you?
So we're the Jamaican colored car. Behind the red car. This is on one of the last laps of the race where I think we made the pass here.
This is which one of you were driving? What on earth is that?
So that's the tires locking up. So just pushing to the limit, and
that's your tires or the red car?
No, that's the red car. So that's why we were able to get by him right there.
When you say tires locking up, what do you mean?
So just when you apply too much pressure onto the brakes for a long period of time, you get to the threshold of the tires where they're like putting so much force into the ground that they actually stop, and you start sliding. The tires stop moving. So it's a dangerous thing, and it happens when you're under serious pressure. And just not like when you're in battle and you're not modulating your foot properly, it can happen to anyone.
Very interesting. So, Mr. Issa, of that 1 hour, how many, what portion of the race did you actually?
Senna drove.
He drove all the way?
Yes, but I will be driving in subsequent races. What I've also been learning is that these tracks, it's pretty cold, so at 20 degrees centigrade, and based on the tires, as we know from Formula One, the compound of the tire can only last a certain number of laps. So you have to, first of all, warm up the tire. In the first few laps, you have to drive more cautiously, otherwise the car will just literally skate off the track.
Interesting.
And then save the tires as you go through.
How many laps are we talking?
So in that race, I think we did about 30 laps. 2 minutes a lap. Yeah, so 30 laps at our race.
And are you competing with how many other drivers?
So there was about 12 drivers in the race. In the next race, because it's in the next race they expect to at least be 15. It was the first race of the season. So yeah, it's quite a big class. It's a little bit smaller than the last GT4 class. that we were in, but still very competitive, very good drivers. And I have to say, from the last race, just the insight you get from Uncle Chris, even in the car, in the test sessions, is unbelievable. I think that's what actually gave me such an advantage. All the little stuff with the brake pedals, all his years of experience, just getting comfortable in the car and getting the car up to speed was phenomenal. And that's actually, I think if you can see, we had a little edge over everybody, and that was a big part to play in that.
Were you expected to win going in?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, the team were shocked. The whole European paddock were shocked. It's a big shock for two Jamaicans out of nowhere to come there and even be very fast, you know. So it was a shock to Europe, and a big mark in Jamaica motorsport history. First ever. I mean, real Jamaicans winning a European event, you know.
Yeah. All right. For the other race, sir, is where will this one be?
The next one will be in Slovakia.
In Slovakia.
Yes.
What exact role do you expect to play?
Well, I will be practicing with Senna, and we're going to be observing where my times are. So we have 4 more races to go.
And you'll be practicing in Austria?
In Slovakia.
In Slovakia, on the same track?
Yes,
same
on the
track,
same
weekend.
Yes.
Same
so
weekend.
I drive the same car. We do stints during the practice days. He'll be in for 15 minutes or half an hour. You have multiple test sessions during the day, and then we'll see where the times are, and we obviously would like to try and win this championship. So I'm playing a supporting role, and I will
when you test drive on the actual, well, what's happening in this shot of you here?
That's on the podium, us two, collecting our first place trophy.
Oh, that was what that was.
Yeah, so that was a happy moment for both of us, and a weekend. The weekend finale.
All right, yeah. So when you test drive a car on the track that you'll be, that's the wheels locking up again. I never know that, people. To be honest, I'm learning something.
Yeah. So what happens is in a road car, if you have ABS, ABS is anti-locking brake system. Yeah. So nowadays, because it's dangerous when the wheels lock, all road cars it's mandatory to have ABS. So in any road car, any new road car, if you press the brake hard enough, it has a system that stops the wheels from locking. Oh. With an older car and a race car, it's actually faster sometimes to get the wheel to micro lock. Yeah. So that's why the race cars don't have the ABS system.
Okay. So I never drive that fast to be aware of that. But what do you look for when you go on a track and do test drives? What are the mental things that you check off?
I mean, first of all, you're making sure the car is feeling okay. You're making sure you're not comfortable. For me, number one is you're feeling one with the car. You're feeling like it's a body. You're connected to something that's going 200 miles an hour. You need to feel fully connected, fully involved with everything the car is doing, feeling every itch of the car, looking for the best lines on the track, where the most grip is, where the most dirt is on the track, and just getting everything out of the track that you can. Analyzing every bump, every scratch of the road, you know.
Wow. What's the name of the car that you're driving?
A Cupra.
A Cupra.
Yeah. So in this championship, there's all different manufacturers. Right. Just the team that we're on, which we thought was one of the best teams to be on, happened to be supplied by Cupra. So they use the Cupra, but in the series, there's VW, there's Honda, there is Audi. Yeah. So there's still lots of manufacturers, but we decided to use Cupra.
If let's say you win, and I'll come back and get Mr. Issa's take on this as well. When you do well, when you win a championship driving a Cupra, does it help to boost the sales of Cupra around the world?
For sure. I mean, we're already actually on Cupra's Instagram page. Like all Cupra's drivers worldwide, every time they do well in a race, you get acknowledged by Cupra, and it gives you a good recognition. I'm sure if we went to Cupra at the end of the season and asked for a discount on a car or even another race car, we'd probably get.
And are Cupra's just race cars or
no road cars in Europe? It's a huge brand in Europe actually.
That is extremely interesting. You're looking forward to your race?
Yes, one of the things I was going to tell you is not having driven for so long, I got on the simulator, which I'd never been on before. And
what's a simulator?
A simulator is a virtual car racing, you know. It's something that race drivers use to prepare for new tracks.
Oh, you mean like those games that but your son played with a road coming at you?
Yes.
Except very, very realistic.
I had never done it before, but Sen and I basically spent between one race to the other, so almost for 2 months we'll be on the simulator pretty much every evening, learning the track inside and out. And what I found quite fascinating is how similar the simulator experience is to the actual race experience.
So do they have simulators based on the track itself? Or
Yes, so every track you go.
You have a track simulator for each track?
Just like on this screen, there will be the track coming at you and you're driving and your inputs are the same as they will be in the race car. The only thing you don't get is the immersion of G-force, which is big. You're not feeling the impact on your body, which you do in a race car. Right. But it's still great to learn the lines, learn where you're going to go, because we have limited time. When we get to these tracks, we have a couple of sessions, a couple of 15-minute sessions to learn the track. You don't want to waste your time figuring out where to go. You want to go there and be 100% hammering it every lap, getting the maximum out of the car, you know. So the simulator teaches you where.
One last one for you, and maybe one last one for Mr. Issa as well. So you're driving for Cooper. Do they modify the car in any way to your own specifications?
For sure. So I mean, you can. The team have different ways to change up the car. For example, you can put it on a more safe side, where usually the maximum. Usually, if you put the car on a safe side, you're less likely to get in incidents. You're less likely to spin out, but your time is a little bit slower. Or you can go on a very aggressive side where the car is.
And you can make those requests?
Yeah, so I can go in the car and decide whether we want the car to be more loose, more stable.
The play and the steering and that kind of thing?
Everything, yeah, you can do everything. So that was what Uncle Chris was amazing at. I mean, getting a car, when he would drive it and give his feedback was completely, I'd have to say, way better than mine, which is what helped the car to... I mean, we got the car into a window that was amazing. It was super quick.
I have one last question. This one is for you. Where do you two go from here? I know you were talking about the next race in Slovakia. How long is your deal with Cooper, and where do you go from here?
Well, we're committed to do this European series,
Just the series.
And then I guess we'll see what happens after that. I think Senna will be more looking at his options, and you know, we still haven't ruled out.
Are you coming out of retirement just for Senna, or you're coming out?
It was just for Senna, because what happened with Tommy, who is continuing on in the GT4, he has a teammate, and we thought they were going to be able to carry the Jamaican colours. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen. So when Senna was looking at this series, I said, well, if another Jamaican driver, you know, paired with him, we could still have the Jamaican colours, because I think that was a huge, exciting moment for Jamaican motorsport to see the Jamaican colours on the car.
All right, gentlemen, we have to leave it at that. Senna Somerville and Mr. Chris Issa, congrats on your start. You have won the first race in the series. Continue to fly the flag high and continue to mentor Mr. Issa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, with that, we take a break. We'll talk some basketball when we come back.
All your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. We've got everything, stocking top brands like CNCs, Philips, and Allen Bradley. We guarantee quality and reliability. Shop with us and save with even free island-wide delivery. Conditions apply. Visit us at Shop 8 Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in electrical business.
Two musical dance. They do.
Straight.
The line of response to a big part of my career. Hot in the club. Bring back the big tune one more time.
Immaculate girls came up with the name Renaissance.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's something that one that's so hard to spell.
Yeah, tell you go.
Man, I said, jail you there in a youth, I want to you. You know what? Singer? You know how long we want a radio?
Viegi, why do you think it was a good idea for going to Gino Jennings' church?
Remember, see, beat me on that, you know.
No, but it's a funny clip.
Man, but
we are talking about reality.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
Jamaica is on a transformative path, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and its agencies are leading the way. McJC Matrix is back for Season 2, bringing you the latest on the projects shaping our nation's future. Big changes, bold moves. This is the Season 2 of the McJC Matrix, driving development, transforming lives.
If you truly don't have faith in me, then I promise you it's over. I'm going to put an end to this nonsense once and for all.
I will not rest until that girl is dead. I'm still going to kill her tonight, no matter what.
Here is your court notice.
Who's the letter from?
Sagar just sent me a notice to get Krishna's custody.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. We've got everything, stocking top brands like CNCs, Philips, and Allen Bradley. We guarantee quality and reliability. Shop with us and save with even free island-wide delivery. Conditions apply. Visit us at Shop 8 Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in electrical business.
CVM TV and live Jamaica Premier League action on a Monday night. A match made in heaven. We call it Monday Match Night. Catch all the hard-pounding JPL Monday night action from now until the end of the season on CVM TV's Monday Match Night. Matchday Mondays at 7:45 p.m. with rebroadcast Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Nothing else can quite match up. Monday Match Night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Hey you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Flint.
Welcome back to Fan Central. Now we move from motor racing to the hoops of basketball, because right now we'll be talking to Rick Turner. Rick Turner has for a long time been, shall we say, the overseas coordinator for Jamaica's basketball, who looks for the talent that side, gets them to be interested in playing for Jamaica. And he has some interesting things to tell us. We join him right now. Mr. Rick Turner, sir, how are you?
Good evening. I thought we were talking about motor racing, so I'm sitting in my car. I'm ready to talk about motorsports. We can talk basketball too, though.
Not quite, not quite. Maybe another time you can tell us about that exploits. But for now, we'll set with basketball. First of all, let's define your role. I made an attempt to put it into words, but you could better describe it. What exactly is your role as far as Jamaica's basketball and overseas is concerned?
Yes, I'm the head coach for the senior men's national team, and I'm the national coordinator for Jamaica basketball. I work under Paulton Gordon, who has been a great leader for us over the last 5 years, maybe 6 years, and part of the team that he's put together to try to push us toward the 2027 World Cup, the 2028 Olympics. And it's a path that we're going to get started on in early August, and we're very excited about it.
Right. So you are the national head coach, but you reside in the United States.
That's correct. I live in Seattle. I was in Jamaica probably 6 times last year for various things, whether it had to do with 3x3 or talking to potential sponsors or doing camps. So I'm down there quite a bit, but I spend my full time here in Seattle.
All right. So I understand that part of your remit, part of your mandate is to find talents that the average Jamaican basketball fan would not know about and somehow convince them or get them to represent Jamaica. What's that mission being going like?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think as the head coach, you're always just trying to locate the best players available. And it's not really much more than that. It just so happens that the best players are spread out around the globe playing in various professional leagues or collegiately, here in the US, in Europe, in Asia, South America. And, I started this position in 2019, and we've tried to build a pool of players. So when this opportunity presents itself, that we have a nice list of guys that we can choose from to gauge their availability, and then go from there in terms of trying to put together the best roster that we can.
Yeah, and how happy are you that the list of people you're identifying, A, will be available, and B, will make a difference to the standards that we're currently playing at?
Well, I love the list of guys that we have. I absolutely love it. I'm a little, frankly, I'm a little frustrated with the FIBA rules that kind of restrict us. They're not as liberal as they are with FIFA. So, the amount of players who have expressed an interest to play for us, hold Jamaican citizenship, but they're not able to because of the FIBA rules. That part of it's frustrating. But I absolutely love the list of players that we have to choose from. I'm still waiting to hear from some on their availability, and we're working down that list.
Is there anybody that is, say, in the NBA that is part of the list of people you're looking at, or the G League, or anywhere near that standard?
Oh, for sure. Norman Powell is committed to play for us, who had an all-star season for the Los Angeles Clippers this year. He was in the NBA three-point contest, and probably you could make a real argument he should have been an all-star this year. He's really excited to put on the Jamaica uniform. He and I have been working together for about 2 or 3 years now to try to make that a reality, and it's finally come. Nick Richards in Phoenix is a player that's available to play for us. We haven't heard from Nick yet as to whether he has the availability to do it in August, but he's certainly one that we hope to have on the roster. Josh Minot with the Minnesota Timberwolves was a young man who played for Jamaica in an under-17 tournament back in, I want to say, 2019. And he's off to a nice start with his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And there's a bunch of other NBA players who have told us they want to play for Team Jamaica, but the FIBA rules right now are kind of restricting that. So hopefully that's something we can work through in the future.
Remind us again of the FIBA rules, just to make it clear, just in case people weren't hearing your explanation a while ago.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. In order to play on the Jamaica national team or any national team, you have to have either been born in that country or you have to have obtained your citizenship before the age of 16.
Okay. So that is going to prove a little bit difficult. What about local players, Mr. Turner? When you assemble a squad, let's say in preparation for the World Championship, which is in 2027, and the Olympics in 2028, are there people who are domiciled and playing in Jamaica who are likely to make that squad?
Well, I would say almost certainly we're going to have local players on the roster. I can tell you, and this is an exclusive for you guys, we haven't announced it yet, but we are going to have a local tryout July 5th and 6th in Kingston for any local player who would like the opportunity to try out and has, talked to us about their desire to play for the national team and put on the Jamaica uniform. We're going to do that in early July. And then from that tryout, we will invite, however many warrant it to our training camp, which will be starting on July 29th.
So you say anybody who think they can make it, they will be invited to that trial. When is the date? The 5th of July?
It'll be July 5th and 6th.
July 5th. Does it matter what amount turns up at that session?
Well, we probably got to work through the logistics of sifting through somewhat of a resume, and I'm going to rely on our local Jamaican coaches to help with that. But the idea when I started in this position 5 years ago is that I want it to be an inclusive club, if you will. I want people to feel like they're a part of it, and I want them to feel like they have the opportunity to be a part of it. And it's not a little small cabal of people deciding, this person's in and this person's out because of factors that don't have anything to do with talent. Right. So giving people an opportunity to show their talent, and maybe for some it'll be a reality check to what their real ability is. But I do think that's important to let people show what they have and give them the opportunity to be a part of it, because we want everyone in Jamaica and in the diaspora, and anyone who's a basketball fan, anyone who could be a fan of Jamaica, I want them to be a part of this journey and get on board with what we're doing, because we think it's going to be a lot of fun and really something to follow.
All right, so the World Championship in 2027 and the Olympics in 2028 are the targets that you're aiming at. What exactly is your mission statement? What do you think realistically you can do with Jamaica's basketball on these big stages? Where do you realistically see us going?
Well, realistically, I don't want to get too far out in front of it. Realistically, what I want to do is qualify out of our tournament August 8th, 9th, and 10th. We don't have a location for that yet, but it's going to be us, Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, Mexico, Cuba, Chile, Paraguay, and Ecuador. I think I named 8 teams there. And we have to finish in the top 4 of those 8 teams in order to advance to the America's World Cup qualifier for 2027. And the exciting thing about that is if we're able to do that, then we're going to have the opportunity to play home and home games with the teams that are within our pool. And it's going to be a great chance for us to bring high-level basketball to the country and get a chance to play in front of our fans for the first time in I can't even tell you how long it's been. So there's some really exciting things happening with basketball on the horizon, but none of it really happens until we get out of this tournament in August, and that's what we're putting all our focus.
All right, so that 8-team tournament in August, you said 4 advance. What's the roadmap between now and that August set of qualification games, I suppose you could call it?
Yeah, well, the roadmap for us is right now we're really in a funding phase. We really need support of local Jamaican corporations and businesses and people who understand what this project can be and to get behind us. We're out everywhere, our small team of people trying to create funding for it and backing and get people excited about it. Then, like I said, July 5th and 6th, we're going to have a tryout in Kingston. Then July 29th through August 5th, we will be training. The site is yet to be determined. But
so that training camp, will it be Jamaica? I know you said you haven't decided the venue yet, but is it likely to be in Jamaica or in the United States?
It could. We're looking at various venues. I mean, some of it is going to depend on expenses. You know, what's going to be more realistic for us. You know, how much local support can we get to host a training camp in Kingston? Or is there a community in the States that makes more sense? I don't know. That's something that we're kind of in the process of looking at right now. I mean, honestly, airfare to Jamaica is expensive right now.
Right.
And to bring 15 players down there, doubles the cost of probably what it would be to bring them somewhere in the States. So we're looking at Kingston, and we're also looking at some places in South Florida. But either way, we're going to spend a good week training ahead of the tournament before we take off to wherever it's going to be. I have a feeling it might be Mexico, but it could be any of those other 7 places.
All right, you have talked about seeking potential talent in Jamaica, and you have also talked about potential talent in the United States, including a couple of people with NBA experience. Is there a possibility that you could maybe bolster your squad with people from Europe as well? Because we know that there are a few Jamaicans who are playing semi-pro ball or professional ball in Europe. You have a few seconds.
100%. That I can tell you, we already have commitments from some Jamaicans who have been playing in Europe, and we're going to announce those shortly. I'm not really comfortable right now. The news about Norman Powell got out last week, and so I can let you know that he's on the roster. But other than that, I'd really rather kind of keep that for the next couple of weeks as we try to firm it down first. But yeah, to answer your question, there are definitely players that are in Europe currently playing or their season's just finished that will be a part of that roster.
I want you to answer this one in 15 seconds. I'm running out of time, Mr. Turner. Are you happy that the Jamaican government and the corporate Jamaica is fully behind the kind of project? And what kind of appeal can you make in 10 seconds if you're not where you want to be?
I know that Minister Grange is completely behind the project, and I'm so happy that she is. But we need corporate Jamaica to get behind us.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Good luck for your endeavors, Mr. Turner. We Jamaicans feel, we lick about with Talawa. We feel that we can maybe not rule the world in basketball, but we feel we can make some noise. Thanks to you for helping us through this phase. We'll continue to support.
Yep, call me anytime.
All right,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
All right, we'll do. Well, that's Rick Turner, the national head coach of the Jamaica basketball team, trying to get us onto the World Championship stage in 2027. Starts with an 8-team tournament in August. Let's wish the team all the best. Well, that's our program for this evening. I know it was a 9 o'clock start that you were probably not familiar with. started off those hours, but you'll get used to it. We'll leave it there. Thanks to all the people who took part in the show. Thanks to you for watching. Join us next week, same time, same place. The name is Orville Higgins. So long.
Deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central. As of Tuesday, April 15, Fan Central will be moving to 9 p.m.
So, I'm sure you took her to a doctor, and what did he say?
He said that she had a hole in her heart. She's a blue baby.
I thought I would find my papa, but I didn't. I found Uncle Jungly instead.
I will divorce her. It's what you want.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
Come rise with Tamighty. We'll drop a little Jesus in your ship with Carey Sales in Wednesday service. Then we'll hop into some good vibes for Easter with a movie night. We'll pause to honor the great Monair Sonny T. Zaka. And we'll wrap things up with Wags brought to you by True Pet. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.